Welcome to the November edition of the Missouri School Boards Association's Board Report. We begin with a look at efforts to combat the teacher shortage issue in Missouri. In October, the Teacher Recruitment and Retention Blue Ribbon Commission submitted its report to the Missouri State Board of Education. The commission made 9 recommendations for lawmakers to address the educator shortage. The State Board of Education approved the commission's 9 recommendations and pledged to bring the findings to the public and lawmakers. Missouri's teacher shortage is most urgent at the elementary school level, with 1,561 vacancies last year. There were an additional 852 openings for special education teachers, according to the Education Department. Former MSBA president and Blue Springs School District Board President Rhonda Gilstrap was a member of the Blue Ribbon Commission. She explains the process for the recommendations.
The process included many facets. First and foremost, members needed to be educated on the landscape of public education and the current state of the Missouri teacher workforce. We collected data from other neighboring states to see a regional comparison, which included average starting teacher salary, the education wage gap, as well as benefit packages for teachers, for all educators. We also researched the retention rate of new teachers.
The commission has prioritized its recommendations into 3 timeframes.
We developed a set of recommendations that were categorized by immediate, short-term priorities, and then long-term priorities. And I think that coming from the commission, the number 1 priority under immediate was to increase the starting teacher salary in state statute and continue funding to support the new teacher baseline salary grant program. Short-term priorities included establishing a fund to support LEAs, which are local education agencies, in providing increased salaries, and then increased support for mental health resources for teachers, school leaders, and staff. And then under long-term priorities, a couple that were included were salary supplements for filling high-need positions, and then as well as offering salary supplements for teachers with national board certification.
Although the recommendations have been submitted, Gilstrap said the work is far from done.
Our boards of education in Missouri are diligently working to find solutions, and we will continue to do so as we strive to strengthen that workforce. Now, our work is not done as far as the commission. The next thing we really need to look at, and I know there's not a school district in the state of Missouri that hasn't come across this, but another committee is formed to look at the culture and climate.
The State Board of Education, in conjunction with the Blue Ribbon Commission, is hosting a series of public engagement meetings in each of Missouri's 8 congressional districts. Check the DESE website for the recommendations made to the State Board, as well as the dates and locations for the public engagement meetings. It won't be long until the Missouri General Assembly convenes for its 2023 regular session in January. Education issues are likely to be the subject of considerable discussion, as is the case most years in the Missouri legislature. MSBA's Director of Governmental Relations, Brant Shields, expects certain issues to come up immediately in the session.
Nothing is really new in education in the policy that the legislature looks at every year. In fact, issues that probably came up, especially that were hot topic issues that didn't pass in the last legislative session or even the legislative session the year before that, are probably going to come back again. Expect to see things talking about charter schools, talking about virtual schools, talking about expansion of vouchers. Those are probably going to be big, hot topic issues coming into session this year.
Between now and the start of the session, there are things that board members can do.
Board members right now, especially with those legislators who are just newly elected in this November election, get the chance to know those legislators. You don't want your first opportunity talking to them being when it's time for them to take a vote in January, February, or March. Start building that relationship now. Bring them into your schools. Have them know what great things are happening in your districts, because that's going to help you tell your story when it's time to make a difference in the legislative session.
The MSBA Action Center has a new look, but will host the same helpful resources to assist you in being an effective advocate for your public schools and the students you serve. This includes legislative summaries, tracking of committee hearings when the legislature is in session, and calls to action on critical issues. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and thank you for all that you do to ensure all students succeed.